Okay, can I have your attention? Can I have your attention? We'll get started with the club meeting. Feel free to go back and get more pizza or stuff like that, so don't worry about that. Our main topic today is going to be holiday gift ideas, and I'll be presenting. My name is Tom Kreuzer. Before we get to the main deal, we'll cover a little bit of the club information. Our next meeting is Wednesday, December 12th. And because we have trouble getting this room or any room in December, we're going to be in 275 2E200. So it's a smaller room, but it does hold about 30, 35, 40 people. And the topic will be cloud storage. And we'll talk about some of the security, private, public clouds, backup, data and apps. And then the next MaxSig is Friday, December 14th. And that's usually their holiday blowout. So they also have food and some things there. So another chance to get some food and attend their meeting there. Officers, our president is Jim Holman. There's Jim right there. Linda Brown is our vice president. I don't see Linda here right now. Paul Ebert is our membership secretary. Mike Griffin is our treasurer and leads the MaxSig. Stan Miller, and back there, is our secretary. Andrew Petrucci is our communications coordinator, and my name is Tom Kreuzer. I'm a director at large. Members old and new, you can pay your dues to Paul. Also a reminder, if you're changing your email, make sure and notify us, because that's the way we send out notices and keep in touch there. If you have suggestions for topics, you can email your suggestions or talk to any of the board members. We're always looking for volunteers to present on hardware or software. Could be something you use at work or at home. And if you don't want to present, We have a monthly eBytes newsletter. You can write a short or a long article, and we'll put it in there. Website, we do put meeting slides and handouts. So we don't have any handouts for this presentation, but the slides that I have here and the recording will be out on the website in a day or two. And so we do record the audio and the screens, and that's in the recordings there. We have a deals section out there. We have our monthly eBytes newsletter, and the link is also sent in all the emails to the members. Reminder or upcoming survey will be going out probably next week. Club survey, we do it every year. We survey to see what topics you're interested in and trends within the club, what's going on, and we really appreciate your feedback. It helps us make some important decisions about the topics, and you'll see even in this presentation I frequently use some of the data and within the presentation. So that'll be going out, and we'll look for that to be returned before Christmas time. Any club questions before we get to the main topic? Okay. First I want to thank Stan again. Stan and Ed Jacobson and Sue Corpella, Jim Beardsley, Al Rivard. They got the pizza, set everything up, and so thanks for doing all that. And the format today, again, go back there at any time. I think there's lots of pizza and different stuff there, so you can go back and get some cookies or pizza. It's informal, so you can ask questions or bring up anything there as we start talking about some of these different things. I mentioned before that we have the club website, and out there is a page for deals. And let's go over to that just a second. So if we're at the club website, if you go to deals, you'll see there's a number of purchase plans out here. Some of these are 3M purchase plans or plans that were initiated by the PC Club. So Apple employee purchase, there's information there and the codes and what to use. If you're donating or recycling equipment, Dell, HP, IBM, Mac Mall, PC Mall. So there's a number of places out here. There's tips on what to do, how to do some things. There's links for internet search price engines. So if you're looking up prices in that, you can see here. Discount codes, there's links for discount codes, tips on rebates, and tips on auctions. So take a look out in the deals section for some good information there. Yes?
Are those available to all retirees also?
You'll see that it varies. Some of them are 3M. The 3M Club is negotiated, some the PC Club is negotiated. So it's whatever's out there. It has contacts and it has information about how to log in. You usually have to set up an account and do it there. Yes, Linda?
I just have some input, and I don't know if other people have had a similar experience, but I regularly order my ink cartridges for my HP printer online, and I usually order 2 or 4 at a time because they'll come along with a super discount or something. But over the past 2 years now, I'll have maybe a total of 6 cartridges, 7 cartridges. I have received faulty ink cartridges that will not allow my printer to print properly. And then I have to run over to Office Max and get like a replacement one to isolate the problem and to be specific to that cartridge. So I don't know if anybody else is running into that, but now I've just ended up with my 3rd faulty cartridge in less than 2 years. And So
My guess those are refurbished cartridges you're
they
buying?
are not supposed to be, to my knowledge.
Because there's two different types of cartridge. Like, is it an
When I'm
HP?
ordering through HP with our contract, our company account.
Yeah, I guess I haven't. I would think that would be the first line.
And they've been, on the first two, they were very helpful in replacing them, and there was no charge for returning them, and now on the third one, I just haven't had time to address the details again. The new one came in that I had ordered and had on hand, and they were working so hard, but I just wanted to share that, and I don't know, I'd be curious if anybody else has experienced similar problems.
Yeah, I haven't ordered ink from them. Has anyone ordered ink from the HP?
Anybody do that online?
Okay.
So I've got, I'm trying this. HP keeps track of my printers and how many pages I've printed. And supposedly, they're gonna replace my ink cartridge in time. We'll see. The other thing, the first thing I thought that didn't work out so good is I print typically only in black, and they had, in order to do this, they had to replace all my cartridges. I can't believe that all my color ink cartridges needed replacement. So anyway, we'll see. I might just quit that.
Keep in mind that when HP does that, you still have 15 to 20% ink left in your cartridge.
And you're probably not getting the discount offer either.
Yeah, you probably when you install a new printer, HP will usually install a bunch of utilities, and one of them is to automatically send you new cartridges when it thinks it's getting low there.
Right, that's what they're doing.
And like Jim was saying, it's best to, just because it says it's low, you may get 20%. You have 20% left. Just keep using it until you start seeing a problem with it printing there. But yeah, well, we'll continue on. But yeah, keep in mind there. I mentioned a disclaimer here on the deals. We do have a number of deals out there that may not be the lowest price around, because you should be checking all these other sites and sales that are going on. You can usually find stuff cheaper somewhere else, and especially if you've been shopping on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you probably saw all kinds of prices there, and those prices are going to be considerably lower than what you'd see on the HP site or these other sites. This is from the last PC Club survey, where we asked where people buy their computer equipment and accessories. And you can see here the most popular stores, whether it's online or in person, where people are buying there. Best Buy, 76% of the people. And we have a bunch of places that people are buying there. So this will give you a little idea.
Give club members a discount?
What's that?
Does Best Buy give club members a discount?
No. And I mean, Best Buy or any of the big retailers doesn't have discounts other than sign up for their deal. You'll get emails, you'll get, the Black Friday deals. Everybody could get that. And yes.
Quick note that for the Apple Store, we do have the online club discount. But if you walk into any of the physical Apple stores with either a 3M ID or a golden pass or a business card, you will also get a discount.
Thank you. And for those that don't know, that's Mike Griffin, who leads the MacSig. And certainly, if we mentioned before, if you haven't attended any of the MacSigs and you have a tablet or a phone, Apple tablet or phone, attend them. They have really good presentations. They have the vendors come in, and this month is your blowout.
14 for having food.
Food. So if you like food, which I think everybody likes food, it's a good opportunity there. A few sales tips. every day is Black Friday. It used to be that you'd see once a year would be the big sales and stuff like that. Now on any given day you can get deals on Bluetooth speakers, and you can get deals on everything under the sun. You just have to search and you can find deals out there. So it's not just a Black Friday thing anymore. If you miss a great deal, don't sweat it. Chances are good you'll see it again before long. So companies do, when new models come out or things like that, we'll always have sales. Just a reminder, if you're not familiar, the trade war with China currently has a 10% duty. That jumps to 25% in January for some items. So if you're thinking of buying something that comes from China, unless they renegotiate there, some of those items are going to jump up quite a bit there come January. So buy it before January. I mentioned here, do your homework. And doing your homework means do comparison shopping before you buy, because the prices literally change from day to day and sometimes hour to hour what's going on. There's sites like Camel, and that shows the highs and lows for just about every product that Amazon sells. There's other price trackers for other stores that are browser plugins. One of them is Honey. And that works with Amazon, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, and others. What that does is as you start browsing on the sites there, it'll say, oh, I found this same item for a cheaper price at this other site. And so it tells you there. The Camel, if you're not familiar with that, let me go here. So if I go here, and let's go see. Let's go to Camel. So this is a website. You can go in if you know the product number. You can put the product number in there, or you can put the description. I'm going to search for the Amazon Dot. Here's an Amazon Dot second generation. And so what this shows me is this shows me the price history here for the Amazon Dot. So if I wanted to buy it back on September 14th, it would have been $50. If I want to buy it right now, it's $19.99. And you can see when it's gone up and when it's gone down. You can choose to pay the $50, or sometimes it was selling for $40. But this is the cheapest price, and it'll tell you the price history, the current, the highest, the lowest, the average, what the different prices have been. You can get details on here. If it's got links to some of the third parties, it'll start doing that. You can sign up for tracking, so you can say, let's say this was currently $50 and I wanted to buy it for $20 or $25. I can put $25 in here. I can put my email in here, and it'll email me when the price drops down to $25. So you can put in alerts there and that to get notified when prices change. So you've got a slew of tools out there to help you know if you're getting a good deal, or to find the best deal out there. So do your comparison and look around and check out the prices there. The more you know about the product's price history, the better prepared you'll be. So that's where, are you going to pay the $50 for the Amazon Dot, or do you want to pay the $20 for the Amazon Dot? Same product, it's just a matter of when you bought and when you clicked, and this lets you do that. And like I say, the Camel works for almost all Amazon products, and you can do, there's other price comparison out there also, but this is the most popular. I also mentioned here, don't overlook refurbished. If you're looking for an Apple iPad and you don't want to pay $600 and you want to save $100 to $200, you usually buy a refurbished machine. And by refurbished, I'm not necessarily talking about something that's several generations old. I'm talking you can buy older tablets and older machines there, but you can also buy brand new versions that just came out because somebody may have returned it to the store, the company took it back, checked it out, fixed it, whatever, and now is selling it. And so again, the refurbished can be a good way to save some money if you're looking for that. And a number of the sites will have the refurbished out there also. These are the top 5 shopping sites. Amazon's #1, Target's #2, Newegg's #3, Best Buy's 4, and Walmart's 5. Oh, excuse me. Must be a deal. Walmart I list out here. If you haven't been out to the Walmart, it's not just the items that Walmart sells. Walmart consolidates from hundreds of vendors. So in terms of the number of vendors that they have, you'll see almost everything that you see out on an Amazon is available out on a Walmart. And so it's something to check out if you're checking out different prices and stuff like that. I just bought an electric mower, had it shipped to me in 3 days, didn't pay anything for shipping, and didn't have to buy a membership or anything.
Tom?
Yes?
One note on that. Watch where it is shipping from at Walmart. You may not be able to bring it back to your brick and mortar Walmart, but you got to return it or do something with it. It wasn't sold by Walmart.
Yeah, that's a good point. If it's not a Walmart item, they won't take it back at the store. If it's a Walmart item, you can also have the stuff shipped to the Walmart store and pick it up there if you want to do that. But yeah, there is a difference between the items that Walmart sells in its stores and the items that are third-party sourced. Okay? Okay, we'll talk a little bit about some of the tech gifts. We'll start with some tech gifts that are under $50. And one of my favorites here is this WiseCam. And the WiseCam is, it's this big. It's just a little cube like that. It's a camera. They sell for $19.99. It's inexpensive but very powerful, and it's meant to be an indoor camera because you do have to plug it in. There's a little plug-in in the back that has to be plugged into the wall there. But it has built-in Wi-Fi in here, and that I actually have one that's outside. I have not had a problem with it outside, and I have several in my house that I use to monitor the doors in and out. It sends notifications, posts the video up at the cloud, and it doesn't cost me anything, no monthly charge for the notifications or the storing of this 14 seconds of video that it has there. You can also put in SD cards and in the device itself to record video. So if you wanted to go back several days or that, you go back for the video all throughout the time and all throughout the days there. But yeah, it's a really amazing product, and for $19.95, it's incredible there. They came out with their second. This is a second model. This model does panning and zooming. So from the app on your phone or tablet or that, you can pan and zoom it 360 degrees, the camera around there. So this is if you wanted to use it as a baby monitor, or you wanted it in the house to watch your dog while you're at work. Very interesting deal. And this with the pan and zoom is $29.99 it sells for. Okay, some of the next items, Mike and I actually earlier this year did a little presentation on the Amazon Dots and the Echoes. and certainly those are very popular devices there. You have essentially a little mini computer in these devices, and as we saw, you can currently buy the second generation one for $19.95. This newer model here, which has a better speaker, this you can find, I believe, for $24.95 out on Amazon right now. So great deals to be had on these smart devices. And so you can ask it questions, you can have it play songs, you can have it play radio stations, you can have it turn on your lights, you can have it do all kinds of things. Tell you your calendar, I have it tell me my calendar, the weather, news, anything like that, you can get it all for these devices. And with the prices getting down into the $20 range, you can have these different devices in multiple rooms in your house. So it's just nice thing to have there.
How good is the voice recognition? The reason I ask is I find Siri almost useless on the iPhone. I ask a question and get a response of something totally different.
I guess I have never had a problem with it. Now, with my Amazon Dot and stuff like that, the mics on it are very sophisticated. So even in a room with the TV on and people talking, what it does is when you give it the keyword, Alexa, it kind of focuses on mics on that area for that voice and will pick it up. Now, what you're talking about, I don't know if Mike may know, does Siri have a training? I know the Google Now, the Android versions, Google, you can go in and you can train it. So it has you say a bunch of phrases. It says a phrase and then you say it back, and it says a phrase. That way it starts learning the way that you talk. So, as my grandfather used to say, enunciate, speak clearly. If you mumble, you're going to have problems. But even the mumbling can be interpreted if you train it. So it can be trained to pick up your speech pattern and things. And then Siri and Google Now and the Dot, over time, builds up this whole library of what you call things. So it'll build up associations. Yes, Mike?
To answer your question, Siri does not have a training mode required. There's a friend of mine who has a Scottish Brogue and has no end of problems with it, but for me it's not been an issue. There is, however, one major distinction. The Alexa devices in general have what's called far-field voice recognition. So they have a way of building your words even in a noisy environment. And Siri is not like that. It assumes you're going to have it right in front of your mouth. And so the amplitude of how you speak to Siri matters some. And then the answers you get also rely on having a good Wi-Fi connection. So if you don't get an answer right away, then it comes in funny. It could be that the data itself got corrupted on the way back. But the dots and the echoes have a different algorithm, so they're designed to pick you up from across the room, at least as well as possible.
Yes.
Can you train Alexa so that you don't have to call it Alexa? Can you call it, train it to call it something else?
Yeah, there's
Or George or something like that. So
yes.
People comes into your house and just say Alexa and start doing like
Yeah, if you have a child named Alexa as an example, you probably don't want to use Alexa there. But yes, within the app, and the app you have either on your phone or tablet or that, within that there's numerous settings. If you've never gone into the settings, I highly recommend you go into the settings and start looking at all the things that can be customized and changed. And one of them is the keyword that activates it. And that keyword is what activates it, and then what you say then gets sent up to servers up on the internet. So there's a common misconception that Alexa or the Dot is always listening in your house, and so Amazon or whoever can hear everything that you say. It's untrue. It's not going up there. Now, if you say certain words, Alexa can wake up, Alexa can take a voice message, so anything that you say, and it can send it to people on your contact list or a distribution list. And that's what's happened to people, is people have accidentally said, or unwittingly said, you know, take a message, and then I believe it wakes up, it starts recording, and then if you say somebody's name, it'll say, do you want me to send it to this name? Well, if you're not around or listening there, it'll send that voicemail on to somebody, everything that you were talking about.
You know, on the Alexa, it have two keywords, so for like two different people, so that it responds like one.
I don't believe so. I believe you can only set up one. There is customization that you can do for each individual in the house. So if each individual, as an example, has a different Amazon account that you order things from, you can set that up. Or if you want to have calendars, you can say Dad's calendar and Mom's calendar and things like that. You can set up customization there, but I believe the trigger word is only one word there. Okay? But they're great devices. If you don't have one, I mean, certainly the price, $19.95 for the Generation 2, it's and if you ordered it over Black Friday, you could even buy an outlet for $5. So you could control your lamp or any electrical device for $5. And I have my lamp, so I can say, Alexa, lamp on, and it'll turn on the lamp, or lamp off. And then I have it also set on a schedule, and so you can do things like that. Yes?
Last item. Some people buy the bigger Echo because of the better speaker instead of the Echo Dot, but they have a jack on the Echo Dot, and you can also connect to a Bluetooth speaker and Wi-Fi, so you don't necessarily have to have the more expensive unit.
Yeah, depending on what your sound needs are there, like Mike said, there's lots of options there. This new version of the Dot is supposed to have a better speaker too, or sound better for music and that. The older Dot that is kind of the black plastic around there, the sound quality is acceptable, but it certainly is not hi-fi quality or anything there. Okay. Some more items under $50. The Amazon Fire, this is a tablet. This is their 7-inch model. Lists at $49. Actually, over Black Friday, you could get this for $29. So if you don't have a tablet or that, if you can't afford $29 for a 7-inch there, it's a good basic. It's certainly not going to be the same as an Apple iPad in terms of the Retina display or anything like that. But as a tablet and functionality, again, prices you just can't beat it. This is the Amazon Smart Plug, and this they listed at $24.99. This is the plug that you actually could have got for $5 if you ordered Dot from Amazon. So I don't know if they'll have that special again soon, but if you're looking to automate turning on some of your devices, whether it's coffee makers or lights, your Christmas lights, your lamps, things like that, these are fun little gadgets there. This is another one. You'll see there's probably hundreds of smart devices out there. Each has a little different capability, and if you are thinking about automating your house, then you have to look at what are called the smart home hubs and things like that to control the whole house. If you're putting a security system and combining stuff in, then you can get smarter smart devices. So there's kind of the dumb smart devices, and then there are different levels of how smart they are and what they can do and what they can talk to. But to me, it's just amazing because, again, this plug is only this big. Well, it connects to your Wi-Fi, and it's got all kinds of technology in there, and they sell them so cheap. This is another example of a smart device for the home. This is a home sensor, so a motion sensor. You can see $29.97. I'm not a huge fan of something like this because for $19.95, if you had put in the camera, the Wise camera there that I first showed, that'll do the same thing. I mean, you can detect motion, and you can it'll send you an alert, and you can see the video. If I'm at work, I can talk to the camera at home. So if there's somebody in the house, I can talk to them. I can see it live there. Another item, this is a smart scale. So if you've got an old scale that doesn't talk to your phone or record your weights or do things, this is certainly a nice little device there. So if you're trying to track your weight or things like that, it can start doing that automatically for you. No sense writing things down, paper and pencil or whatever. That's old school there. Here's a device where it'll track it for you automatically there. And again, this is the list price. So these are the list price. Use camel, see when stuff is on sale or what's the lowest it's been, but frequently these prices, you may get it for a third to half of what the list price is. This is a little gadget. If you're not familiar with the Raspberry Pi, all they are is little circuit boards with all kinds of connectors in there. And they're more for the hobbyist who loves to play around. Maybe you're teaching your kids how computers work or stuff like that. You can buy some of these modules and you can make your own computer. And again, this board is this big. It's literally this big. It's a small little board there, and it's got connections for adding keyboards, adding other devices, and that to it. So it's really remarkable what where they've come from. Typically, you have to be comfortable running the Linux operating system, so this isn't going to run Windows or excuse me, Apple or Mac operating system. You're running Linux and doing Linux commands, but it's great for tinkering and hobby type things. Here mention a Logitech keyboard, although there's, again, hundreds of different keyboards out there. But if you find yourself using your tablet and your smartphone quite a bit of the time, and you end up having to type quite a bit or create content, whether it's in a spreadsheet or whether it's in a Word document or other things where you're having to type a lot, Bluetooth keyboard is great. And again, these keyboards, you can get them as cheap as $10 and they go up from there. But they'll pair with your phone or your tablet, and all you have to do is pair it, and you can just start using the keyboard instead of using the touch on the tablet or phone. This is, we've talked before about smart TVs and streaming, and the Amazon Fire Stick. This is one of the more powerful streaming options out there, and this lists at $49. I believe you could have gotten it at Target for $32 or something like that over Black Friday there, but this is a 4K, so if you have a 4K TV and you subscribe to streaming services that have 4K movies, you have to upgrade from your old streaming service or that to take advantage of the 4K. The other advantage of a device like this is if you've used these devices before, you'll find that navigating can be cumbersome, whether it's through some of the menus or things like that. This comes with a voice remote, so you can speak into it. So if you have like the Xfinity voice remote or stuff like that, doing searches, you can search for Viking football game, that kind of thing, and you can search that way instead of scrolling through menus and selecting and stuff like that. So the voice search makes it very easy to find things. And certainly the price, like I say, has come down quite a bit there. And the Amazon Fire Stick, if you haven't attended one of our meetings where we've talked about streaming, if you have a subscription to Amazon or Amazon Prime, this is a great remote. If you don't have Amazon Prime, then I'd recommend like a Roku. Roku makes similar type devices, but their devices are actually even more powerful. But if you have Amazon Prime, buy the Amazon Fire. This is an Amazon Fire Stick, so it's better integrated with some of the other Amazon products. Okay, here's examples of some gifts that are a little more expensive there. This gets up into about $100 there. Most people in their houses have old Wi-Fi routers, and whether it's an old Wi-Fi router that you bought or a Wi-Fi router that came with the modem, so if you have a Comcast and Comcast came in, chances are they put in a pretty low-end Wi-Fi router in there. So if you're having trouble with Wi-Fi signals not being real strong or having problems not fast enough, you feel that you're not getting the speed in that, it's time to upgrade your Wi-Fi. And these routers, this is an AC router, which is a newer standard. A lot of the older routers you'll have out there are N and B, and they're less secure, they're slower. This is a dual band, has multiple antennas which can be positioned to give you the best signal and that, so they work in larger houses better and just are a better solution to Wi-Fi, especially when you start getting all the tablets that we have and phones and smart devices and things like that. You want to have a fast router to take advantage of whatever speed that you have. Here's another Amazon tablet. This is the 8-inch. This sells for $79 list price. But actually you could have gotten the 10-inch. The Amazon Fire 10-inch was selling for, I believe, $95. So you could have gotten that, and if you want a nice inexpensive tablet that still has a lot of functionality. This is smart watches. So there's more and more watches out there. This is the Amazon BIP. Excuse me. It's got quite a bit of functions at it. It functions as a smartwatch. It has GPS tracking, always on display, week-long battery life, water resistant, and it costs $69, or lists for $69 there. Not quite as elaborate, obviously, as the new Apple Watches. So this is the Apple Watch Series 4, and they have a lot of functionality. So if money's no object there, certainly go for the Apple Watches there, and they start at about $469 and go up from there. But they can do EKGs. So your heart rate and very good display if you haven't seen them. Lots of functionality built into the watch there. TVs, you probably saw in the best or in the Black Friday ads, all kinds of TVs, and it just surprises me how inexpensively they can make the TVs. Because like this, the TCL comes with Roku and built in. The 32-inch model is $149. And if you looked, you saw probably some 65-inch models out there, and they were selling them for $398. I think the cheapest I saw for a 65-inch was $398. It's just insane what some of the TVs are going for. Now, there's all different qualities, and depending on what they come with and their smart capability, how many inputs they accept, and the viewing angles and things like that. So there's things to check out. These aren't 4K models, so if you want 4K, you have to pay more for 4K there, but there's certainly a lot of features and functions that can be had now very inexpensively. So yeah, here's what they recommended, a 65-inch TCL. This is $999. Excuse me. With the Roku built in there. But yeah, and it's amazing how lightweight some of these are too. It's not like they weigh hundreds of pounds. They've gotten them down to very light, and if you want to stick it up on the wall and that. This I list in here, they listed phones. If you're looking for a new phone or that, Apple came out with its models, and certainly they're top-of-the-line models. But if you don't want to spend $1,000, here's an example of the Motorola G6, $240, and it'll do almost most of what the Apple can do. So it's a case of certainly there's lots of options there on phones and capabilities that are built in there. This is an example of Target's Black Friday ad. So you can see this is where they were selling the Amazon Dot for $19.99 and the newer Dot for $24 and the Echo for $69. So like Mike was mentioning, if you want better sound quality, so you want to use it as your stereo, that kind of thing, then it's worthwhile to either look at this or an external Bluetooth speaker or other things that can be paired with these devices to give you good sound quality. The other thing you'll see here is certainly you're starting to see these are the video versions of the Dot, and that you have the Google Home with the video screen. So if you wanted to do video conferencing or things like that, or just not take out your tablet, these can be nice devices to use instead of Dots or Echoes there. You can have the screen there, and like I say, it's most useful for video conferencing, calling somebody. You've got it right there. What are some of the other items? So yeah, here's your tablets. There's the Amazon Fire, $99. They were selling it for the 7-inch. They were selling for $29. Laptops. This is a Chromebook selling for $119. Some smart devices. These are the Ring doorbell and stuff like that. Certainly there were discounts on those. But you can see there's other options too for smart devices, and lots of different ways to go there. That's all I had. Anybody else have stuff that they've seen that they're interested in, or yes?
One thing that picked me was
great, but it's got a terrible speaker. If you want a decent speaker, you're looking at $1,000+ a good solution.
Yeah, what you'll see, I mean, if you do a search out on the internet, you can look for sound bars. They're usually called sound bars, and the sound bars are multiple speakers, and they're anywhere from just one bar that has multiple speakers that you point out towards you to systems that support full Dolby, if you're familiar with 7.1 or 5.1, what those refer to as the number of speakers and the subwoofers. So some of if you want the home theater experience, you typically want a right speaker, a left speaker in the front and in the back, and then a subwoofer up front. That's a 5. So you have 5 speakers. And if you're watching movies and that, then as long as they were produced with the 5, you're going to have perfect sound of the right stuff. So if a jet comes by, if you watch Top Gun and a jet goes by, you can hear and feel the jet go by. And if you've got a big enough subwoofer, it'll rumble the floor there. So, and those types of speakers, I mean, they start at a couple $100 and then go up to thousands of dollars because it's kind of like home stereo. What quality do you want? And the quality that one person wants or says is acceptable is completely different than another person. So I used to sell stereos and that when I was younger, and I tell people, you can't go by one person's recommendation because one person is going to say, I can hear the highs and lows and everything here in this speaker, and another person goes, I can't tell the difference. Give me $100 speaker and I can't tell the difference between that and a $2,000 speaker. Well, yes, Mike.
At Best Buy, they have had set up the exchange, but they have had 4 or 5 different soundbar systems set up with push buttons, so you can audition the same material on different speakers to see if it's to your liking.
Yes, Tim.
Another thing to consider is if you buy a TV, look at the soundbar that's made by the same company, often integrate so that you have one remote for everything, rather than having a soundbar remote and a TV remote and everything else. Like LG's got them, Samsung's got them, everyone's got their own soundbar. They integrate very nicely with the TV made for that same manufacturer.
Yeah.
There's a new HDMI port on one of your TVs that's for ARC or something like that. And that will integrate your soundbar with your TV. I'm going to say this is so volume on a video, it'll go up and down.
You have to have the HDMI on both devices.
Yeah, the new one will put it on the port. So I'll check for that and your TV.
Yeah, if the devices integrate with each other, and you'll see that on the HDMI, because if you have a Roku or if you have a Apple TV or stuff like that, that's the same thing on there. Whether that remote can control the sound in the TV itself, sound and power and things like that. So it's nice to have that. Yeah.
The last thing that you got to worry about, though, if you're 25 years old, spend $2,000 for the sound system. You start getting gray hair, your hearing starts going. By definition, you're not going to hear the high ends and everything. So why waste the money?
Yeah, and I was going to address just a little bit of that. My father is 91, and the last 2 sets of hearing aids that he's gotten have a pair feature, so Bluetooth pair to his hearing aids. So there's a device that you put on the TV, and it sends the signal directly to his hearing aids. He can then control the volume and everything there, and he can actually shut off his hearing aids, so the only sound is the sound coming from the TV, and that's perfect. That works 100 times better than these, you know, little earphone systems and stuff like that that you try and do to amplify it.
How much do you have to pay for the hearing aid?
$1,000.
He's a veteran, so he got it for free from the vets.
My
And
point is on those, you know, you can get the greatest speakers and they cost next to nothing, but put them in your ears and they're thousands of dollars.
it's very expensive for the hearing aids, and actually has 3 other Bluetooth devices that come with it. One is a portable mic, so if you're in a restaurant and you want to hear people that are talking, you can give them the mic. Another is for your cell phone, so it can pair with any cell phone. If you have an Apple cell phone, you don't even have to use the device. You can just pair it directly to the hearing aid. But the hearing aids and the Bluetooth, they're making dramatic changes there. And certainly the next time if you're looking to replace or get hearing aids, look into the capability of both the settings. So in some cases, I can get on here and I can change the settings on his hearing aid, and that to optimize it for where he is. Yes, Mike.
Maybe the last thing on the sound bars, the newer ones will give you a subwoofer that is Bluetooth connected, which is nice because if you decide I don't have any space except behind the couch across the room, you don't have to run the little optical wire or any other wire. You have to plug it into power, but it gives you a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, you can stick it underneath the sofa or the chair and have it rumble. And okay, other questions or items that you've seen or have an issue with? Yeah.
Question, I was looking at headphones, and the guy told me that you needed to have a Wi-Fi network in order to run Bluetooth.
No, you do. Wi-Fi does not require Bluetooth.
Bluetooth does not require Wi-Fi.
Right, right.
The question was, okay, on an airplane, can you run it in Bluetooth?
Right, and similar, you know, if you look at headphones here, you'll see, you know, here's some headphones, the Beats and stuff like that. You're going to be spending $300 for. Well, it's like the speakers. Which one? What level do you need? Depends on what's acceptable for you. You can get headphones. I have wireless earbuds that I use when I jog. Well, those I bought at Menards for $7.95. They work perfect. Now, are they as good as the Apple earbuds? No, their sound quality isn't quite as good. But for what, $159 less, it's acceptable there for what I do. Yes.
We talked about inkjet printers and having to replace the cartridges quite often. Would you recommend a laser printer, a particular brand?
It depends on what you're doing. Again, the volume. I tend not to print that much, so I continue to pay high prices for ink cartridges. I believe it. Who is it? Was it Epson or I forgot what band?
Epson has printers now with the tanks.
Yeah, they come with it. For $300, you can buy the printer with the tank and then fill up the tank. So that can be a little bit cheaper than the laser printers. The laser printers, if you just want to buy a laser black and white, that's not very expensive. But then you don't have any, let's say you occasionally print out color, well then you have to have another color printer if you want to print out color. You can get a color laser jet, but then you're taking a step up there and cost in that.
How is it black and white? So lasers is a good option.
Lasers are a very good option there, and you can get your cost down to 4 cents a page or stuff like that.
Any brand recommendation?
I don't have, I guess I'd take a look at Staples or one of those places, Staples or Office Max. Yeah, Jim may have a...
The only thing you have to think about is the printer is the cost of the laser cartridge. And disposable of the laser cartridge. Cartridges are, if you think that 8 cartridges are expensive, try a laser cartridge.
The laser cartridges are very expensive, so, you know, just because the printer is, you can get a printer for $300 or $400, the cartridges themselves can run upwards of $200. Now, they're going to last a long time, but again, maybe for you, you don't print that much. Technology may, you know, if I can get by for 2 years or 3 years and the next generations that things are out, maybe that's for me.
I've got a 10-year-old Canon laser pointer, black and white. I've never had a problem with it. I'm on my second cartridge. They don't dry out. They're $70. You get thousands.
Yeah, you don't have the clogging that the ink in that. Yeah, back there.
Yeah, I've got the same experience. I have now a 4-year-old all-in-one black and white laser. The cartridges are $50 each. I can go through one every 2 years. And for us, family of 6, if we have to print color, we go to FedEx, Kinko's with the 3M discount and print it out there.
Yeah, the color, most of the color that I do now, if I have any pictures or anything, I have a Walgreens down near me. I just send it to the Walgreens, and you know, it's much cheaper, and I get a better quality than what I'd have to do because I don't print that much color in that. But yeah, lots of different options there. Okay, any other questions? Otherwise, thanks for coming. I think there's a little bit of pizza left there. Help yourself.